EJ's Starlink 12-21 launch coverage. We will run our ads now, so nobody gets an ad during the launch. Okay, here we go. We're going to cap this stream off with a sweet Falcon 9 launch. Oh, look, the claw arms are working. Different pad. Same launch site, though. So, see the claw arms right there? Those were the arms that weren't working on the crew flight. The claw arms. Yep. You could see the naughty one in the background. Yep. Where are we, east or west? Jeez. Sorry. I used this crumpled up can as an example, and I was trying to grab it as a mouse because it was on my desk, so whatever. This is East Coast. This is pad 40, Space Launch Complex 40. All right, little bit of information here real quick before we go to fly. This is Starlink Group 12-21. The booster first stage flying tonight is booster 1069. Very nice. On its 22nd flight, 37-day turnaround. The payload is 21 Starlink satellites, 13 direct-to-cell, 8 normal V2 mini satellites. Once again, we're going out of Cape Canaveral. This is Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, Space Launch Complex 40. And this is SpaceX's 29th mission of 2025. This is... Derek, question I haven't found an answer to. When launching an expendable Falcon 9, do they remove the engine guards? They remove the landing legs and the grid fins. Yep. Your favorite astronaut is Jim Lovell. Mine's John Young, Hawker. Lovell is a very good choice, though. West. East? I thought you said west.
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Okay, so we should see ground gas closeouts where they evac the propellant lines for Falcon 9 here on the transporter erector. Ground gas closeout has started. Falcon 9 will go into startup here at T-minus 1 minute. We are 90 seconds out.
Ground gas closeouts.
Would both launches be using the same personnel? No. Well, not a lot of people know that SpaceX at Hawthorne, they have multiple mission control rooms. Like they're just duplicates of each other, so they can do 2 missions at once.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
This is most likely a different team. I mean, NASA's the same way. They have multiple mission controls as well. Al Bean, good call, Gaw. Yeah.
Launch director, go for launch.
LD reports go. 40 seconds and counting. Alan Shepard. Yeah. Good call, Searit. Any news about satellites having issues with solar electron
30 seconds.
flux? A sensor halfway there sent 6 times the normal over 24 hours ago. I haven't heard anything, Home Planet. 20 seconds.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10,
10.
9, 8,
Sound suppression water system is
6,
on.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Ignition.
1, 0. Liftoff. Go Falcon. Go Starlink.
All right. We got a liftoff. Starlink 12-21 is in the air.
Vehicle is pitching
Being
down
propelled by
range.
booster 1069 on its 22nd flight.
M1D, chamber pressure nominal.
Good call for propulsion. from Flight Dynamics there, or whatever SpaceX calls it. Should get a call here for power and telemetry in the next 15 seconds. I don't know yet, Mark.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Cool. Okay, we should get a call for supersonic here. Indicating going faster.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
See, I told you. Indicating we're going faster than the speed of sound. Next call is maximum dynamic pressure. Maximum dynamic pressure is peak aerodynamic load being exerted on the vehicle from aerodynamic compression forces.
Max Q.
There we go. It's basically the point in the flight where Falcon 9 can't move the air out of the way anymore, any faster, and it actually induces a compression load. You don't want to compress your vehicle too much. That would end poorly. Rockets don't like being accordions, fun fact. Okay.
MVAC chill.
Second stage and engine thermal conditioning has been called. That's what MVAC chill is. The second stage is now opening up pre-valves to introduce the cold propellants into the Merlin vacuum engine. The Merlin vacuum engine needs cold propellants. It needs to get its turbine machinery to the correct operating temperature. Because the fuel pumps on that engine are designed to move really cold propellants, they need to be cold as well. They can only work when they're cold. They can't work warm. So they trickle the propellants into the second stage engine mid-flight right now to prime it and make sure it's at the right operating temperature for ignition. Now what you're going to see here is the 9 engines in the first stage shut off, and then the first stage will basically jettison the second stage here. Watch. This process is called
Main engine cut off.
staging.
Stage separation confirmed.
There we go. Good stage separation. Stand by for an upper stage ignition. You get a beautiful shot of the Floridian Peninsula there. Good upper stage ignition. Glow the Merlin vacuum engine coming into view. Beautiful. First stage is now coasting on its ballistic arc here, deploying its grid fins and using its attitude control thrusters to orient it for landing.
Confirmed.
Second stage is jettison the fairing separation. The fairing is the aerodynamic component to the top of the vehicle that protects those satellites from aerodynamic forces on the way up. Fairings will be reused. SpaceX does reuse those things. They actually kind of flip. It's like a clamshell fairing. They flip over like this, and then they re-enter, and then they deploy a parafoil, and they actually fly back to SpaceX's ships. Now, the ships don't catch them. They land next to the ship like a seaplane. Believe it or not, like a parafoil. So the fairing has a parafoil, and it lands like a seaplane next to the ship, and the ship picks it up out of the water. Think like if you are like a World War II naval history buff, right? You know, like how the battleships had like scout planes. Pick them up almost the exact same way as that, which is pretty cool. Now, the first stage is going to land out on the drone ship. The drone ship that's being used tonight is a shortfall of gravitas, I'm pretty sure. Yep, shortfall of gravitas is the drone ship. The drone ship, SpaceX's drone ships are basically barges that have been basically hot rodded with oil rig positioning thrusters on them. They're called azimuth thrusters. SpaceX took a barge and they gave it propulsion and they made it into a ship. Right, so it's an autonomous vehicle, and what that drone ship does is basically it uses the azimuth thrusters to stay in a precise position on the water to accept the booster. So the booster comes down basically right over it and lands. Now, Falcon 9's first stage also has a downward-facing radar on the first stage that's looking for the drone ship as well. It'll get a ping off the water for the drone ship, and it'll go find it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, right. Second stage continues to perform really well. You can actually tell how good that second stage engine is working by how evenly the glow is distributed on that nozzle. If you're getting some non-uniform glow here on the nozzle, that means something is wrong. That is the precise reason why SpaceX has these cameras. So they can look at that engine and make sure that it's nice and healthy. Now, right now, heating looks pretty damn uniform. It's pretty good. I know there's some darker spots, but that's fine. The reason why the glow is going to tell you that it's healthy is because that's how that engine is cooling itself. The nozzle of the Merlin vacuum is made out of, what is it? Niobium? It's made out of niobium, and niobium basically is a passive cooling system. The glow is actually how it's cooling itself.
Stage 1 FTS is
Oh,
saved.
it's time for my favorite part. We got a light on the first stage. 1 engine to 3 engines, initializing the entry burn here. The supersonic retro propulsion. My favorite part. First stage is now slowing itself down and also using its engines as a buffer to push the entry heating away from the vehicle. It's using the engines as the heat shield, which is super cool, particularly the engine exhaust. It's my favorite part. That is a fire heat shield right there. And it's not like, actually, I think it may have popped. Oh no, we got a reacquisition of signal. You could still see some plasma accumulating on the grid fins. Look at the re-entry heating. Oh, that's so cool. Got a lot of plasma accumulation on that right grid fin. Yeah, that thing's coming in hot. Look at the decel on that stage. All right, we should be popping in for the landing burn here. Should also hear a call for transonic on the first stage. Right around now, give or take.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
It's terminal guidance. That's a good call. There's the light of the drone ship on the water. You can see it.
Landing burn.
Okay. They didn't call transonic that time, interestingly enough. Okay. We got 1 engine ignited for the landing burn here. Grid fins are doing work to steer that thing back to the drone ship. Shortfall of gravitas is, it's a little cloudy, but it is in view. We got a shot on the drone ship. Landing legs have deployed. Come on, baby. Stick it.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
N1069 lives to fly another day, completing its 22nd flight. 22 reuses on that first stage. That's not even the one they've reused the most. Crazy. Merlin vacuum shutdown. Should get a call for nominal orbit insertion. Staging velocity here, 27,110.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. They make it look easy. They make it look easy, dudes. It's not easy. It really isn't. We're so spoiled by this company. We're so spoiled. It's ridiculous, dude. Have they voluntarily retired any boosters? They don't. They retired some Block 4 boosters, Jim, a little while back. They haven't retired boosters. The only boosters that they've retired are boosters that are basically get Viking funeraled. So they basically take the grid fins off and take the landing legs off and expend it. That's only happened a couple of times with Block 5 boosters. Now, physics has retired some boosters, if that's what you're asking. 1058. And then we lost, I think, 1086 the other day. But it's all right. How long a lifetime does parts of the reusable stage have? What needs replacing the most? Well, you gotta replenish the ignition fluid, Sig. That's the big one. You need to refill the pyrophoric igniter cartridges, like amongst other things. I don't know, like, what else. If I had to guess, it's probably something with the engines. The tankage seems fine. But I would guess that if there is something weird, it's probably with the motors. Particularly with turbine machinery. The pumps. That is the part that's under the most stress on any rocket. The turbine machinery. The fuel pumps. You got to pump a lot of fuel and oxidizer extremely quickly into that rocket engine to make it rocket engine. To make an explosion and fire come up that fast. You need a really, really powerful turbo pump. Those components are by far the ones that get beat up the most. Falcon 9's landing legs also need to be repaired from time to time. The crush core needs to be repaired, but yeah. Do we know what happened to the last Falcon that exploded? Mikey, a fire at the bottom of the vehicle burnt a landing leg and melted it, and it tipped over. Yeah, that's 1086, which sucks. That booster was only on its 5th flight. Nozzles, the nozzles don't get knocked up as hard as you might think. Yeah, I'll put that sentence out there, whatever. Yeah, they don't get as beat up as you might think. Combustion chambers do. And throats get really, really messed up. But if you did your analysis correctly and you want to reuse your rocket engine, they should have a pretty dang long shelf life. For what it's worth. Is that how new boosters are made? Well, yeah, of course. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go to sleep now. Okay? Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow at noontime. We're gonna go back to the Yakograd Republic, where you will face the trains. And yeah, we'll keep planning out our construction mats area. Should be pretty good. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope everybody has a good night. And hopefully we see Crew 10 Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure. I'll let you know as soon as I know, okay? Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a good night. It's Friday, nervous? Thank you. So Friday would be around 7 o'clock, right? Because 20-minute interval over 2 days. So, yeah. Sweet. Looks like we got workers in space news tomorrow, dudes. Should be a good day. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for what? Beavers? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I want to play workers, dude. I want to play workers. You know what it is? Timberborn makes me want to play workers, and then playing workers makes me want to play Timberborn. It's like I'll be playing workers, right? And I'll be messing with the water. Like, you know, it's like, oh, we got to fill this lake in. We need to, we need to get the sewage and drainage done. We got to do all this stuff. I'll be messing with all that, and then I'll be like, man, this makes me want to play Timberborn because it has better water physics, right? And then I'll go play Timberborn, right? And, we have the tube things, right? And I'm like, oh, man, this would be really cool if it was a train. I want to play workers now. They keep compounding off of each other. There's also a new Hearts of Iron DLC for anybody that cares. If you guys want to see me play that, let me know. I love Hearts of Iron. It's one of my favorite games. SVO, you're reading my mind. When are you going to start building in workers? When I'm ready. Violent. I don't know. We still have a lot to plan out, dude. But yeah, I'm going slow and I'm taking my time. As long as I'm not boring you guys to death, we're going slow. We're going to design it right. It's polite. It's right. It makes a sneezy noise when you press the horn. Online mail entertainer. Thanks, Mark. All right, I'm going to bed now. It will be right after Flame Trench. What? Oh. I'm gonna have to talk to boys at NSF, see how that works. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night. Thank you.